Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Aslam Keliasir. My last student ID are 114 and I'm a student of TBIGC. And in this video, I would like to present a summary of the material that I learned during the Islamic Studies Methodology course. The purpose of this video is to review the main topics discussed throughout the semester and to reflect on the knowledge and insight that I have gained. I hope this summary can show my understanding of the course and remind us that studying Islam requires not only faith, but also critical thinking and proper academic methods. So let's begin. Okay, in the first meeting, we'll learn about Islamic studies methodology. This topic introduces us to the concept of studying Islam in a systematic, structured, and scientific way. We'll learn that Islamic studies is not only about understanding religious teachings, but also about analyzing them through appropriate methods and academic approach. This foundation is important because it helps us develop a deeper and more objective understanding of Islam. In the second meeting, we discuss the role of religion in human life. Religion provides guidance, moral values, and a clear purpose in life. It influences people's attitude, decision, and relationship with others. We also learn that religion plays an important role in building social harmony, strengthening personal character, and encouraging people to live responsibly. In the third meeting, we learn about the growth and development of Islamic studies. In this topic, we explore the historical development of Islamic studies in different parts of the world, including the Muslim world, Western countries, and Indonesia. We learn that the study of Islam has continuously developed over time and has been influenced by different intellectual tradition, culture, and historical context. This shows that Islamic scholarship is dynamic and continues to grow with the needs of society. In this meeting, in the fourth meeting, the meeting explained the unique characteristic of Islam, such as being universal, balanced, comprehensive, and relevant to all aspects of life. We also learn about the different dimensions of Islam, including faith, worship, morality, social relationship, and spirituality. Together, these dimensions show that Islam is not only a religion of ritual, but also a complete way of life. The fifth material is about the Islam as a cultural phenomenon. In this meeting, we studied the relationship between Islam and culture. We learned that when Islam spread to different regions, it interacts with local tradition and customs. As a result, many unique cultural expressions emerge while still maintaining Islamic values. This topic helps us understand that culture and religion can support each other as long as they do not contradict the basic teachings of Islam. The next material is about the method in Islamic studies. This topic introduces several important approaches used in Islamic studies, including historical, sociological, anthropological, philosophical, and theological methods. Each method provides a different perspective for understanding Islamic teaching and Muslim society. By using this approach, researchers can analyze religious issues more critically, objectively, and comprehensively. In the seventh meeting, we learn about religious research and research on religious life. In this meeting, we learn the difference between researching religion itself and researching religious life. Research on religion focuses on sacred texts and religious doctrine, while research on religious life examines how people practice and experience religion in everyday life. Understanding both perspectives allows us to gain a more complete picture of Islam in both theory and practice. The next material about models of tafsir research. This topic focus on different methods of studying Quranic interpretation. We learn that researchers can use thematic interpretation, comparative studies, or analyze the ideas of specific Quranic scholars. These different research models help us understand the meaning of the Quran from various perspectives while appreciating the richness of Islamic scholarship. The next material is about the Hadith research methods. In this session, we studied the basic method used to verify Hadith. Scholars examine the chain of narrators, now as the sanad as well as the content of the Hadith. Now as the matan, draw this careful method, they determine whether a Hadith is authentic, reliable, or weak. This process helps preserve the authenticity of the Prophet's teaching. In this meeting, we continue our discussion about the Hadith studies by introducing more advanced research techniques. We learn about takhrij, which is the process of tracing the original source of Hadith, as well as deeper critical analysis of both the sanad and the matan. These methods strengthen the accuracy and credibility of Hadith research. The next material is about the ijtihad. Ijtihad is a source and method of Islamic studies. This topic explains the concept of ijtihad, which is the effort made by qualified scholars to solve new issues that are not directly explained in the Quran or Hadith. We learn that ijtihad plays an essential role in ensuring the Islamic teaching remain relevant to changing times while still following the principle of Islamic law. And the next meeting, we learn about Islam in the era of globalization. And in this meeting, we discuss the impact of globalization on Muslim societies. The development in technology, communication, and information have created many opportunities for learning and spreading Islamic knowledge. But, however, globalization also brings challenges such as misinformation, cultural change, and ethical issues. Therefore, Muslims need wisdom, critical thinking, and strong values in responding to these developments. In the next material, we learn about contemporary dynamic of Islam. This topic explores several important issues facing Muslims today, including religious moderation, digital media, environmental responsibility, human rights, and the challenge of extremism. We learn that Islam encourages balance, justice, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence. Understanding these contemporary issues help Muslims contribute positively to modern society. And the last meeting, we learn about the areas of Islamic studies. In the final meeting, we'll learn about the wide range of discipline within Islamic studies. This include Quranic studies, Hadith studies, Islamic law, theology, Sufism, Islamic history, Islamic education, and Islamic law. Each field has its own focus, but together they provide a comprehensive understanding of Islam from different academic perspectives. Okay, guys. In conclusion, this course has helped me realize that studying Islam is much broad than simply learning religious teaching. Islamic studies also involves using appropriate research method, critical thinking, and scientific approach to understand Islam more deeply and accurately. Through this course, I have gained a better understanding of how Islamic knowledge has developed throughout history and how it remains relevant in addressing contemporary issues. I believe the knowledge and perspective that I have learned will be valuable not only in my academic journey but also in my daily life. Thank you for your watching this video. I hope this summary provides a clear preview of the Islamic Studies methodology course. See you and have a nice day.